First, hats off to a good South Carolina football team, uh, going all the way back to the 1930s, and General Neyland. It's game maxims from the University of Tennessee. It's something that we read before we take the field, those 7 game maxims. And the number one game maxim, the first one, is the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. And that's what happened in that game. Talked about some of the penalty discipline after the game, but the 4 turnovers were proved to be critical, and that's not being able to overcome a big storm. I was really, really proud of our team, the way they weathered that 17-0 deficit. I looked in the eyes of our guys on the sideline, and everybody was focused on the task at hand. Unfortunately, we just could not come out on top. Our defense was led by Dimitri McGill, who played a physical game once again. Second week in a row that he's played well and played above the line, also the rest of his defensive line. And I thought defensively we played pretty good once we stopped the bleeding a little bit there early. Offensively, the trips in the red zone is what it came down to. You get any points out of those trips in the red zone and not turning the football over, and the game is a totally different game. I got to give a huge shout out to Zay Jones. I've never been a part of a game where a guy catches 22 balls. That is unheard of. I don't think I've been a part of a week in practice and the game connected both together where a guy's caught that many balls. He's a phenomenal talent. I'm excited to see him this week, but also the rest of his time here, and then to see where his career goes after that. What a fantastic person, and something for like that to happen to him was really, really good. But overall, to start the game, you start the game with a penalty, and you start the game with a big kickoff return by them. Put our defense in a bad situation. Our defense, we would like them to bowl their neck there and only give up 3. That scored, that kind of started the issue. But once again, that penalty is probably one that I can live with on a horse collar tackle to try to save a touchdown. But after that, we've got to do a better job of maintaining what we do every day in practice and the rules and regulations of the football game. And then outside of that, I thought our kids played extremely hard. From the echo of the whistle all the way to the echo of the whistle. I thought they did a really, really good job. And as we move forward, we got to understand that those things that we did from a mistake standpoint, we were able to see that very easy on tape. When you lose a game like this, you can see the reasons why you lost. Sometimes when you lose games, guys want to look around and try to figure out why we lost. Well, this week is very clear, and the reason that we lost the game. Moving ahead now, to the Hokies, what a good football team. Coach Fuente has done a great job of putting together a great offense, and that offense has grown as much from last year to this year as any offense, I think, at this point in time. He's been blessed with some really, really good players, but Gerard Evans, his quarterback, has complete faith in number one and in Bucky, and those two combined together give them some great talent and great weapons in their offense. Also, number 45, he does a good job of giving them position flexibility, whether he's at fullback or he's at tight end. I think, Sam, he does a good job of taking you to and from the football so you can't lock in on him defensively. I mean, what can I say? Bud Foster, been doing it for 30 years. I've competed against him as a coordinator. There's been no one as a coordinator that has challenged us as much as he has. It all starts in the back end for him. I think from Mook Reynolds to Faison to Adonis to just everybody that he has back there. It's been really, really good to watch those guys play so well together and grow together. I mean, even Greg Stroman added to the mix gives them one of the best defensive secondaries in the country. And what they're able to do and put the stress on Stroman and put the stress on Faison and Adonis and keep number 19 down in the box. He's done it for a long time. He's been free safety. He's been down in the box. He makes their defense tick. They count on him to be run support, but they also count on him in coverage. They can cover. This is a football team that can cover your receivers. And then in the front, number 4, I hate to say it, but I've had a chance to compete against him, and he won a lot of those battles when we were at our last university that we coached at. They do a good job. They do a really, really good job defensively, offensively, and special teams. Anytime you hold a team like Boston College to a scoreless a scoreless game, then you know you're playing a really, really good football team. So all in all, great football team. We'll be prepared. I'm really looking forward to it. Our guys are excited. They understand the problems. We know how to fix it. We will fix it, and we'll move forward, getting ready for the Hokies.
How did the team bounce back last night? Obviously a tough loss, but did you like their demeanor out at practice?
Yeah, the demeanor was great. The one thing that you can do with people that are, our team is hungry, and they understand how hard you have to work to get a chance to win. But those film sessions are the best thing for our team. From day one, we talked about their tape being their talking, walking, breathing resume, and the tape showed exactly what the tape showed. I mean, we had mistakes. The biggest issue is that we had physical errors a lot more than mental errors. And guys take that to heart. Coaches really harp on mental errors, but players, they have a physical error where we turn the ball over from a fumble, or we don't necessarily make the correct throw, or a throw, shouldn't say the correct throw, a throw as early or as hard as we want to make the throw. And those physical errors, a lot of times they set with the players, so they were anxious to get back in practice. I thought we had a good practice last night. It had a lot of tempo, a lot of energy. There is no woe is me. We understand our task. And I think our coaches understand how critically important it is for us to move on to the next opponent.
Excuse me, I'm Aaron Jackson from Inside ECU Sports. I want to know, was there like a defensive lapse on the 4th-and-1 play where they switched the play and audibled over and no one bumped over to cover the running back and only Davon Pratt had to run or the quarterback?
Well, defensively right there, they did switch it. Our defensive call was a call. I'm not going to say exactly who it was that didn't necessarily get it, but we would have liked to have in that situation a quarterback and a pitch player there.
Coach, the atmosphere at South Carolina was exactly what you thought it was going to be. You prepared for crowd noise in practice, knowing that your team handled that atmosphere very well. Will you continue the noise in practice, or will you do something different?
No, we're gonna continue to prepare the way that we did. It'll be loud again, so I hate it for all of our neighbors here, right here close. You probably would have got that call from somebody. Can Coach turn the volume down? Just bear with us here. We'll be back in town playing at Dowdy-Ficklin soon. So when we're on the road, we have to have that noise. They did do a good job. I thought our snap count was good for the majority of the day, and we'll continue to prepare like that.
You were the OC, obviously, at Duke going up against a Bud Foster defense. Give us a sense for how much of a chess match it is when you're going up against this defense.
I don't know if you necessarily call it a chess match. It's much more physical than a chess match. It's a chess match, but with a whole lot of physicality. He just has the ability to jump out of a 4-down to a bare front and to use his coverage on you. You don't know if he's in man, 2 invert, quarters. He just mixes it up. Over the last, 8-9 years that I've been able to see his defenses since I was going against him, he just does a good job of change-up. So we have to be ready for the adjustment. We'll be ready for the adjustment. I think it helps and hurts that I've gone against him, right? Because he knows our adjustments in certain situations, and hopefully we'll be able to know some of his. But what a fantastic football coach. He knows how I feel about him. I've talked about him before. I've had chances to speak with him in all season. So he's a fantastic football coach.
How much bounce back was there with Philip Nelson so far this week? Obviously, he's a leader on this team. And how much do you lean on him to help get the guys kind of back on track after a while?
Oh, we're going to lean on him hard. I mean, you go back and look at the game. He wasn't our problem in this football game. He made a few mistakes, but when you're playing almost 100 snaps and you have 3 snaps that you want back, we just got to get everybody battling all 11 at a time the same way that he battles for the majority of the time. So we'll bounce back from that. We'll get a good understanding of what we have to do moving forward, but we're going to lean on him. He's a leader, and we like our quarterback, as you all can tell at this point in time. We're very, very comfortable with our quarterback position.
Can you give us a sense of the thought process at the 1-yard line, deciding whether to pound it in or to throw it sideways?
Yeah, so, that was a run-pass option there. Philip had the ability to hand it off or to throw it, and that directly comes to what they do from us from a standpoint of how they pack the box. If you pay close attention to that, they did pack it, and they came underneath there. That probably would have been a 3 to 4 yard loss if we hand the ball off. Unfortunately, he made the correct decision by throwing it, and we just didn't make the accurate throw. We had the ball, should have been completed on the back pylon, and we didn't make the accurate throw. The guy that came underneath was a little bit in his face, and all those things connected together, you get 0 points right there.
What's Anthony with his fumbling recently? Has it been a ball security issue or just some of the bigger hits from the
Well, I'm not going to necessarily talk to why he did what, but this is the things that you can do to correct it. There's three things that you can do to correct the way that you carry the football, or the way or stop from fumbling the football. The first thing is how you coach it. The second thing is how you carry it. And then the third thing is the way that you fix it is you have to play somebody else. So those three things are what you have to look at from a standpoint of protecting the football. So we're going to address every one of those situations, and we've already kind of addressed every one of those situations, but everybody understands the importance of taking care of the football. There's nothing that we can do right now to give it lip service, but when we hit the field Tuesday, we'll make sure that we address all three of those.
What in-game adjustments were made against the read option? Gave you some problems against State and early on against South Carolina. What did you see there?
There was a lot of, the tight end player is taking you to and from the read option now. And now by blocking the end and not blocking the end, going across the motion, now you're getting safety play from both sides of the ball. It's really, really tough. I think we adjusted well to it in the second half. It's just so many ways that you can run the read zone and read option. So those different things that go into it, you have to prepare. If that back jumps on you like he did late, if they went read zone the opposite way, we got a problem over there as well. So all those things combined, that's why the quarterback has really added a big-time element to college football that no one's talking about. The quarterback is the 11th player that you never have to defend usually in the run game. All of a sudden now, with the ability to jump the back and use the back as a lead blocker or the back as a pitch key, now you're adding a number because your safety is usually 8 yards, 7 yards away from the play, even in tight situations, because you can't get ran by.
What was the idea that you had in your head for going on for the onside kick with 2 minutes and about 30 seconds?
It's about 2:29, I think 2:28 somewhere in there to go to onside kick it. What we want to do is to increase our ability and chance to get the football back. I knew that if we kicked it deep, we might have a chance to get it back, but we wanted to have two chances. So the first chance being the onside kick, and then the second chance being potentially our defense holding them. The other part, it was a big-time critical part of that, is that when we didn't get that two-point conversion and wouldn't be able to be down by 3, the 5 made it a much bigger game than 3.
Do you think there should have been a call on that play?
What we do is we coach football. We let officials officiate. I wouldn't say that I necessarily agree with calls, but I'm definitely not going to say that it was incorrect or correct.
Coach, what did you learn about the guys and staff and everything being on the road for the first time, especially in a hostile environment like that?
Tough, cool, calm, collective, but tough. I thought our staff held together really, really well. The communication was great. My communication probably was the most erratic during the time, because sometimes I get a little bit upset, whether it be offense, defense, or special teams. But I thought we did a really good job. The defense was communicating with the offense through me, special teams. So we communicated that whole last 4, 5, 6 minutes of the game. We were constantly talking about what we were going to do if we got the ball back here, how we're going for 2. We had a great plan, and in the end, it came down to a 4th and 1. Where we had the clock stopped exactly the way you wanted the clock stopped, and with the ability to get that ball where we would have got it at, it would have gave us a great chance. But I thought, all in all, our staff did a great job preparing these young guys. And when you have a type of gains that we had offensively, and you hold an offense to what they held them to in the time of possession, that's what we wanted to maintain the ball a lot more than they had it in this game, and being able to stop the run, we were able to maintain it great.
Does it especially hurt, though, when you have a game like that, when you do so many right things? How many games have you been involved with 3 turnovers inside the 5?
0. I don't even know if I don't know if I've even watched one where that happens, and it hurts, but it also lets you know that despite all of that going on, our team was tough enough and physical enough and just a good enough football team to win it. And unfortunately, we did not do that. But I hope that's the last time I ever witness a game like that, and that many turnovers happen, unless it's for the other team. So moving forward, we know what we have to do. Unfortunately, those turnovers happen, but we've got to coach it better. We've got to play better, and we've got to make sure that we got the people in there to make sure we take care of that football.
Coach, you seem to be very comfortable going for it on 4th and short. Is that a mindset with you personally, flow of the game, or what?
Kind of all of that is all inclusive. We have to use our downs here. We're able to use our quarterback as an extra player on offense, but we have to use our downs. And then sometimes when you're in those 40 to 45, 50-yard areas, what are you getting by punting? A lot of times you're going to get a 15-yard gain because the ball is going to bounce into the end zone. They're going to pull it out, and then the offense is going to be starting. So a lot of those things is feel, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit of a strategic move by us to use our fourth downs when we need to use them. We have to. I don't have any fear like you guys have known before. The guys that I've been around, they'll go for it fourth down. The guys that I admire, they go for it on fourth downs, and they get criticized sometimes for doing it. But that's what being a coach is. We're trying to give our team the best chance to win.
How important is this win this weekend? I don't know if you already stated it or not, but how important is this win?
I think it's a very important win because it's the next one, and nothing more than that. Our guys, they understand how important it is to go out and win today and win tomorrow, and we got to get back to winning ways. I like the way I feel when we win. You talk about it all the time. Winning feels great, and it takes you to a certain high, but not sometimes the depth of losing. All right, thank you, guys.